This ain't no game, this that CSZ game. They said pull up, so I came. You better put some respect on their name. Yeah, 55 was goody. Kill the vibe, how could he? Big Cardinal on the hoodie. Let me break it down for you fully. This ain't your average broadcast. This ain't just no podcast. I'm on the show, spread fake news. We just call it podcast. Wes, Joey, Sam, Shawn, Dalton. And you know that boy hit you. He said he wants small fries. Tell him they better make him big. Yeah, you already know what we be on.
You bet. 40. Here he goes. This place is gonna.
If we set it and set it in stone, sit in the seat, set up your phone. You in the Cardinal sports zone.
Straight steal home. The slide. The Cards win.
The magic is working tonight. How do you know when things are
The emotional journey to the championship.
What is up, everybody? We are coming to you live from the Shoot 360 studios. This is the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast, the longest running streaming podcast in the city. I got to get my squares fixed back up the way they were. Devoted to Louisville athletics. I'm your host, Jeremy Wyman, here with my co-host for the day, Louisville football beat writer extraordinaire. He cheered so hard yesterday, not in the press box because that's frowned upon, but he cheered so hard yesterday internally, he can't hardly speak. You're going to see a lot of nodding and thumbs up and thumbs down from the guy. It's our guy, Sam Baisden. Sam, what's good, man? That's so annoying. I love it. In studio with me today, it is, I really don't know how to explain him. He is unique. He's the one and only. It's Shawn Barber. Shawn?
How's it going?
Now, we did find out the other day that, we thought that Shawn was homeless. We thought he was slovenly. We thought he was not well put together. And that's just something that his mom told us. But I digress. But he stood up to his nephew the other day and flexed his guns. And my guy over here is packing some biceps. And we didn't know. He's hiding them. So don't mess with Shawn unless you just want to. But Shawn, how you doing today, man?
Feeling good after yesterday.
Absolutely. What happened yesterday?
Oh, the Colonels got demoted in rank.
Okay. The name of the podcast is the Finger Licking Good Recap. Also joining us via Restream, it's our guy Wes Keys, the Sunday co-anchor of the show. Wes, what's good? Yeah, Wes, you were going in and out, man.
I am.
You've got to call Boost and tell them to turn your Wi-Fi all the way up.
First off, I have Verizon. Leave me alone.
Oh, well, that explains a lot. Verizon's been in and out a lot. So if we ask you to repeat today, Wes, or you just get frustrated and just want to contribute via chat, that's fine as well. But as you all can see in studio, there's no Joe Wama today. He will be acknowledging himself in the airport right now, waiting to be taken. He'll be off the next couple of episodes. He's going to visit some family down in Georgia. Much deserved time off. But we've got our guy Zach in the building. Zach, what's good, man?
How's it going, man?
Your head coach for your Fern Creek Tigers baseball team and sponsor of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. Well, summer sponsor, but I think we should just, that's kind of like having interim. I think we should just rip the interim and summer off. Do you just want to ask you this? Do you provide other lawn care services throughout the year?
Yeah. So we got a 4-wheeler over the winter, and I got a plow. So when that snow falls, hit me up.
There you go. So we're going to continue it. Shawn, we'll explain to you what plowing. It's not what you think. Well, it might be what you think. Never mind. But we'll get to that here in a little bit. We appreciate everybody hopping in here with us. Don't forget the Mossy Oak chat line is open. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or however, send us your questions on social media. Check on the graphic below to see how you can follow the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast on social media and how you can, donate a little bit to help us get nicer equipment. And I know what you're saying. Well, why don't you bums just buy it yourself? Now, I'm going to have some offense to that because I did buy everything in this studio. I remodeled the studio all by myself. I just want y'all to give me a little bit back for it. No, I'm just kidding. But our time is precious, and that's why we do ask for donations from time to time. If you can, we don't want you losing your house because you gave us $50 on the donation line. So if you can, cool. If you can't, we're still going to be bringing you the hits every week. hit that thumbs up button while you're here on YouTube. Make sure you're watching on YouTube if you can. It'll help us out more. And speaking of our fine sponsors, Fitness Market, Fourpex, the Collision Course Crew Tailgaters, which had their first tailgate event of the year yesterday. It was a smash. Shout out to them. Cherry Picking Goods, Shoot 360, and our guy Peyton Siva, which we just happened to get a phone call right before we went live from our guy Peyton, checking up on us, seeing how we were doing. Mossy Oak, Planet Fitness, Rally House, Beckman's Fine Blades, and Josh Jarbo from Remax Realty. So glad to have you guys back for our post-game show. These are going to be on 2 o'clock and 2 o'clock on Sundays. And a reminder, our Friday night show, which is our pregame show, will be preempted 3 times this season. This Friday versus James Madison. Friday, I don't know the exact dates, but Miami and Clemson are both on a Friday night. Those shows will come to you live at 8 o'clock on Thursday. That's why I don't really like the Friday night games, because it throws our schedules off. I do like the Friday night games because it gives a little bit more exposure. Do not forget to look on Twitter and answer the questions of the day. And also, before we get into football, because this is going to be all, we're not going to lie about it. It's going to be all football today. But Shawn, give us a little info. We have an important visitor on campus right now. Tell us a little bit about the young man that's on campus visiting.
He's a 2026 recruit by the name of Colbin Landrew. Colbin Landrew, 6'6" wing player. Once again, a good shooter. As we know, that's Pat Kelsey's bread and butter. He wants wing players, guards that can shoot the ball. And that guy can shoot the ball. He would fit really nicely in as the first, big piece of that class. I know we're in on some other guys too, but I feel like this is the guy really zero in on at this point. And if you can land a guy like this, he's like a high 4-star, bordering on a 5-star. Let's see here. Let's look at him. He plays small forward, but a guy like this could probably play guard as well. In Pat Kelsey's system, he uses taller guards sometimes. We've seen that, and we'll probably see that this year as well. With Woolley's kind of a tall guard, 6'4", 6'5". This guy kind of has a little bit of that kind of game, a shooter that can slash to the basket. And if we can land him, that's going to be a really big piece. And also, he's rising up too. I think he'll be higher.
The Sean Barber guarantee is he will be a 5-star when he suits up for the Cardinals.
I feel like he will be. I think he's.
Would you call him like a must land? It's early, so I mean, anybody you get on campus could be a must land. How important is it that we get a commitment from this young man soon?
I feel like pretty important. It's like I said, it's the next class upcoming. I don't think we have a commitment yet. I have to look at that. It's been a little while since I looked at that, but I know when you got that class coming in, to get a guy of this caliber on the way up too. He's been talked about like crazy. I know he had some big. I want to say, was it the Adidas tournament or something? He had a big one, but it's been a while since I looked. I look back at this the summer before he kind of came on our radar. If you can get a guy like this, you take him immediately. If he's like, I want to commit, you take him immediately, and now you've already got your wing for that class, period, in the story.
Sam, let's get your opinion on it with just a thumbs up or a thumbs down. How do you feel about the young man? We got 2 thumbs, 2 ashy thumbs up from Sam. Wes, what about you? Okay, thumbs up. Well, Wes, you can use your voice. You don't need to thumb us up or thumb us down. Zach, do you know anything about not to put you on the spot, but do you know anything about it?
Yeah, I mean, just a little bit. He's got 26 different offers of the likes of Alabama, Auburn, Georgia, Texas, Ole Miss. Some of those SEC schools.
They're big now.
Sorry, we take a pause in the action as Clash in Paris is on to acknowledge our tribal chief who's coming to the ring. That's one thing. I know y'all we don't talk about wrestling a whole lot on this show, but the one thing I'm so glad that WWE has went back to is building the special sets for the pay-per-views, because since the pandemic, it seemed like they've had the same basic sets for Raw, SmackDown, and the pay-per-views. We'll get away from wrestling talk. That's our Wednesday night show, which we'll see y'all this Wednesday night. Let's see what we got going on the chat line. Robbie says good afternoon. Uncle Larry says, what's up, Zach? Fellow Fern Creek alum here. I'll be around this baseball season. Well, that's cool.
Can't wait.
Uncle Larry's a good dude, man. Once you get Uncle Larry's allegiance, you might as well give it up. Like he is a diehard Card and diehard at everything. So we always appreciate him around here. Look, let's get to the business today. You all didn't tune in to hear us talk about Uncle Larry. Well, maybe some of you did. You didn't tune in to hear us talk about the tribal chief, which you probably should have. But you tuned in to hear our thoughts on the game yesterday. So as always, segment number 1, it's my quick hitters. Isaac Brown went wild in the first half. Card scored 21 points in the first quarter for the first time since 2017. Now, I also have to remind you all this. First game of the season, right? I forgot that I normally take my notes throughout the game. So we're down there in the basement watching the game on the big screen, excited. About halfway through the first quarter, I remember, hey, I've got to be taking notes. So some of the stuff is out of order. I was like, I got to throw down everything I can remember. So I apologize for that. Carl Lacey punt return touchdown. Watson catches 1. Moss runs for 1. Brown runs 1 in. 2 fluke Moss interceptions with less than a minute on the clock on back-to-back drives. So many penalties, but that all equaled out to a 41-7 lead at the half. We sit our starters on offense for the most part. Defense, I'm not sure if we did or not. Say, did we sit most of our again, we're using the thumbs up and down. This is not a Yelp, but we're using thumbs up, thumbs down with Sam. Did we play a lot of Brown had the 31? Right, yeah. I knew they were out of order. That's what I was saying. I was just writing everything down really, really quickly. But did we pull our starters on defense out as well in the second half, or did we let them play a little bit longer? Yes, okay. You all don't know, but Sam's communicating with us through the Mossy Oak private chat for the show. So he may be mute today, but we can hear him loud and clear. Thank goodness. But the guys were out at the half. Brady Allen starts the second half. Defense was stellar in the first half. I was really happy with what I saw. Me and Shawn were talking about this before the game. We looked at the stats, and we only had like 60 overall tackles, but they were all spread out evenly. We didn't give them too many opportunities to tackle us because we were scoring and doing our job. This pretty much was a glorified scrimmage at the end of the day. Boykin's star shined in the second half. Brady Allen to Chris Hughes, 48-7 Cards. Then he throws an interception on the very next drive. 3 turnovers in about 15 minutes of game time. The starters were out though, so it is what it is. We set up EKU in the red zone. They score 48-4, make it 48-14. Deuce Adams starts the fourth. Didn't seem like we really. I don't want to say it didn't seem like we tried hard, but it just looked like we were going out there. We were going through the motions. We knew we had the victory. Wasn't nothing going to change. The little Smurf turd herder got 2 lazy picks on us. Those 2 interceptions I don't count against Moss at all. They were both tipped. So if you want to count those, you can. It is what it is. I don't. But I personally don't think you pull your starters till about halfway through the third quarter myself. But that's my opinion. Broke 50 points plus in back-to-back openers for the first time since 2006, 2007. We had a the last punt of the game. Keywan, was it Keywan that returned that?
Yes.
65-yard punt return.
Actually, was it a punt return or kick? I think it was a kick.
It could have been a kick return.
I think it was a kick return.
I just put 65-yard return. Apparently, at that point, even I was so bored I didn't care. Cards won 51-17. They do not cover, which sucks because we're pretty much covering by. Well, we were covering, and then that pick 6 happened, and it was like, well, because I got on Twitter, and was like, man, that spread is toast by the halftime, and then 3 plays later, you return the pick 6, and it is what it is. I think this may be how we do it from now on. Just have Sam text his thoughts instead of talk them. He makes a really good point. I think if we didn't have JMU this Friday, the starters may have went midway through the third. That's a really good point. No reason to, shoot the, play all your guys. I'm trying to think of a politically correct way to say it without being goofy, but you don't want to show them everything you had the first game. Miller Moss 17 for 25 for 223 yards, touchdown, 2 picks. Isaac Brown 6 rushes for 126 yards, 2 touchdowns. Shawn can vouch for me, even though he didn't publicly, so I wanted to shame him. I literally sat there and said, well, it's a nice time for our Isaac Brown 70-yard touchdown.
Yes.
Very next play, busted it up the middle. 229 total rushing yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. Brown for 2, Isaac Brown for 2, Keywan Brown for 1, Miller Moss with 1. Bell 5 catches, 63 yards. Lacey 4 catches, 62 yards. Hughes 3 for 50 and a touchdown. Duke Watson 1 for 30 and a touchdown. 313 total yards receiving. Gerard 6 tackles. Lubin 4 tackles, 2 sacks. Which, if you listen to our preseason show, Joey straight up said Lubin was good. And I know we can't really. It's really hard to base anything off of one game for the whole season. But that's what we're going to do today because we're ridiculous and we love football, and we're going to be like, it is what it is. 542 yards offensively, gave up. Let me ask this. Does anybody know how many yards we gave up before I ask this question? Don't tell me, but does anybody know off the top of their head? Wes?
I'd say probably about 125.
Okay. Shawn, your
overall.
guess?
I was going to go 150.
Okay, Zach?
I'll throw one out there at 200.
Okay, Sam, did you already know? Okay. Well, I don't know how he did it, but somebody has got, this is The Price is Right. Ding, 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 ding. Somebody's got it right on the nose. It was 150 yards exactly. Shawn, you cheated. There's no way you got that. No, you cheated.
No, I didn't cheat.
You cheated.
I didn't cheat.
You cheated.
I'm not Ric Flair. I'm not the dirtiest player in the game.
Okay. He cheated. Colin Lacey, punt return. Okay, I did write it down in the, it says punt. Was it a punt return, Sam, or was it a kickoff return? Thumbs up for punt return. Thumbs down for kick. Okay, it was a kick return touchdown. Okay. Well, I just messed up. It is what. No, it was the other way around. Okay. It wasn't. Stop telling me I'm wrong, Shawn. He didn't say anything. Cooper Ramveer, 5 for 6 from the extra point, 1 for 1 for field goals. He finished with 8 points. Offensively, we looked new, which we were. Worked our way into a groove in the first half. Defense played stout, which was better, and they played better than I thought they would, which is a good thing, even though it was EKU. I think it was Shawn that made the point yesterday. He was impressed with what he saw defensively because at least all the guys were standing where they were supposed to, which didn't happen last year. The second half says absolutely nothing about our team either way. I did like what I saw out of Brady Allen and Deuce. Running back stable is now 4 deep with Boykins showing off. Sam says the communications were better in the first half, and that's going to happen when you have your starters in. They're starters for a reason. They're not out there just guessing what to do. I was going to go to Sam first on his thoughts. I'll let him type them up. Shawn, what were your thoughts? What were your takeaways from the game yesterday?
The defense might be better than we thought, especially the front seven, because that defensive line was causing havoc all game. Even the second unit, when you got to the third unit is where they got a little bit off, but this first and second team defensive line was insanely good. The linebackers played really well. You didn't see a lot of openings for that quarterback to be able to pick us apart over the middle. Other than that, offensively, the quarterback is going to be just fine. Miller Moss is going to be really good. He only sailed like 2 throws that I saw that I can remember. One should have been a completion to a guy, and he threw it just a little high. And then even though I think we disagree on the interception, I think that first one was
we do disagree on it because
high, and the
Shawn,
receiver had to jump, and it went off his fingertips.
Shawn, I know you've never been an athlete, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but the first thing we were taught as receivers and tight ends, if you touch the ball, you should catch the ball.
Yeah, so
he touched the ball, he should have caught it. The second guy touched the ball.
Thanks.
He should have caught it. Now, you also have to factor in the fluke stuff, and that's what happened on both occurrences. I don't think on the first interception he meant to tap it up to the little little Higgy. I call him little Higgy because that's it is what it is. But thank goodness that Higgy ruined that commitment for us because it is what it is. Let's get caught. Before I let you finish, I do want to get caught up on the chat line today. I want to do a better job of that. Kevin Watson says, "What's up? What's up, Kev?" Fritz Von Sheehan says, "We didn't cover." No, we didn't. Crap. Right. Charles Wimpy, I think they should have played a little longer. I agree with you there. Lance McGarvey, voice of the Cardinals basketball team, says Cards could have won by 100. We're a very good football team, and EKU is sorry, especially with their lame L's down routine. Absolutely.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Watson says Sam has never sounded better. I agree. Text only between us from now on. Wes Brocky says happy Sunday, fun day, Cardinal Sports Zone. What's up, Wes? Fritz says average rushing yards have to be top 5 in the nation. Royalty in the building. MJ Griffin's dead. Ryan, miss my guys. What's up? What's up, brother? We miss you too. Got to talk to Mom's Kelly, Quincy's mom, this morning. She was at the game yesterday and had a good time. Enjoyed it. Still supporting Louisville. Patricia Peaks is less than 100. Not quite 100. Fritz says 21 yards per carry. That's what our average was. Shawn, can you go to our rushing average?
Let's see here.
Scroll down just a little bit. It'll be at the very bottom, right? No, we only averaged 8.3 rushing yards per.
Yeah, that's Isaac.
Isaac's average was 21.
Okay, yeah. Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah. I wonder how number 33 from EKU feels today, like an idiot probably. Tony Bowman says, what's up, CSZ family? Great time yesterday. So glad football is back. We are too. Patricia Peak, easy for me to say. Great game yesterday. Been tailgating since Howard's days. Appreciate your loyalty there.
That's my aunt.
Oh, it is?
That's my aunt.
Okay. Well, welcome, Aunt.
How you doing, PN?
There you go. And listen, there was a lot of times during Howard's days where it was not fun to be a Louisville fan. It didn't get fun being a Louisville fan. I'm not saying I'm the reason why, but when I started becoming old enough to watch it, and we went to the Fiesta Bowl the very first year. So I'm not saying I have a part in it. Yeah, maybe I am. Wes Brocky says, love Chris Hughes. Thought he played really well yesterday. He looks like he's going to be special. Kevin Watson says, the guy who will not be named on this show is a heck of an athlete. The L's down clown from yesterday,
yeah.
Mr. Two Picks, and Ryan Griffin says 100. Appreciate you, brother. So go ahead and finish your thoughts, Shawn. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's okay.
Well, I did, but I didn't.
My only other thought was the offensive line. I thought the offensive line played really well after the first couple plays. They had a few. After that, I thought they played excellent. They were opening up holes for Isaac Brown, obviously, and they were protecting the quarterback. Because even when we got pressured, it wasn't because that they were letting guys through. It was just because time ran out. And then, for instance, in the red zone when Miller Moss ran for that touchdown, he had plenty of time.
Oh, it was awesome.
Nobody was open because they dropped everybody. Apparently.
Well, and nobody thought that that Miller Moss was going to run the ball, right?
That's true too. He had a guy open. He just decided to run it.
Do you remember I don't remember how long ago this was, and I hate to keep going back to rest. You remember the little thing where you'd hear the doodle in the arena, and Michael Cole would get up to read the anonymous general manager email. Well, that's what I'm going to do right now. Sam Bazin has sent in his thoughts on the game. The defensive line was better than advertised. They did what dominant teams are supposed to do to lesser opponents. The secondary played extremely fast. I absolutely love our linebacker group and their versatility. And credit to all of us, because we sat here and said that the linebacking core each one of us picked a different linebacker to be our defensive MVP. So that really plays to that thought process. Offensively, he says, I think coach is still searching for that third consistent wide receiver. Moss's first pass was a card. I thought Higgy wrote this for a second. Was to Hurry, who would have thought? No, absolutely. I don't think any of us would have thought that. I'm going to say something before I get to Zach and Wes. I'm going to say something that's probably going to get me lit up in the group chat, and I'm okay with it. Y'all know me. I can handle my own. I can hold my own. I didn't see what I wanted to see out of Miller Moss yesterday. I thought he looked really average. We were talking the other day, ranking Plummer and Shuck and him, and some people are like, oh, he's going to be way better than both. And some people are like, well, Shuck was way better than Plummer. And I'm of the thought process, as long as we win games, I don't care who the quarterback is. I cannot, after yesterday, rank him above either one of those. He made some mistakes, even though the 2 picks were not his fault. There were a couple other times where he overthrew or underthrew, and you can chalk that. Listen, been a part of multiple opening days in football. For some people, the jitters are a thing. Some people just wipe it out of their thought process. They don't care about it. But some people, jitters are a thing, no matter who the opponent is, and I just can't, in good consciousness, rank him above either one. Will I at some point at the end of the season? I'm sure I will. We'll see a little bit better. My only problem is we don't see a definitive challenge. That's for him.
That's our daughter.
That's very cute.
1 year ago today.
Hey, show that on the camera here.
All right.
That's cute.
Right.
Yep, right there.
That's Isabella Gale.
There you go. Look, getting a shout out.
Isabella.
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 Getting a shout out. But no, I as of right now, I cannot definitively say that he is. Oh, that's where I was at. Look, y'all know when I get going, I lose the train of thought. We don't have a definitive challenge for several weeks into the season, right? We've got JMU coming up. We got Bowling Green, and some would argue JMU is better, probably the best out of the first four opponents we play. Shawn, we play obviously EKU, then JMU, then Bowling Green, then who's number 4?
Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh.
So we do play a conference game.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So then JMU I wouldn't rank against over Pittsburgh, but probably it'll be the toughest. Oh, that's why, because we have a bye week between Pittsburgh and Bowling Green, right?
No, we have
Or between Bowling Green and JMU.
Yeah.
Stupid, hate it. So we're not really going to know what we got until that Pittsburgh game, probably. That sucks a little bit, but I don't think any of us expect for them to rank us after yesterday's thumping victory over EKU anyway. So I'm okay with it. Zach, what were you went to the game yesterday. What were your thoughts?
I thought that I kind of agree with you on the Miller Moss front. He was average. He made the throws he was supposed to make. He didn't really show anything spectacular. Again, Isaac Brown, he's a stud. I mean, he's going to be like that all year long. I did want to see a little bit more of Duke Watson. I was hoping to see a little bit more out of him. I thought Colin Lacey played with some fire. And then Chris Bell, he's got all the tools that we need in order for him to be a superstar. I think they just need to get him the ball a little bit more.
A very, very good point there. Wes, what about you? You were at the – listen, I need to – before you tell us your thoughts on the game, give us the breakdown of the Collision Course Crew tailgate. Saw you were there. I know the norms out, the regulars out there were having a great time. How did what kind of a time did you have at the Collision Course Crew tailgate?
Awesome as usual. There's never a letdown when it comes to being there.
Was the first one at the new spot though? So in your opinion, did them moving right next to because they're closer to the stadium? Did them moving closer to the stadium positively, negatively, or didn't really change your experience?
It didn't really change it. It didn't really change it. It was an awesome experience. Everybody who were the normals was still there. There was a good crowd. Other people came over. I think his name is Williams 55, the offensive offensive lineman that we have. His family came over. It was a nice crowd, man. It was fun. No. 55 on the offensive line.
I just heard 55. I don't care about anything else. I'm just kidding.
I knew you was gonna go there. I knew you was gonna go there.
Here's what I wanted to ask. So, were you all able, being a little bit? So, how much? Let me ask you that question first. How much closer were you all to the stadium? About halfway close. Over half.
I'd say probably a little over half.
Okay, so you all were able to get to the card march quicker.
Yep.
And get back. Were y'all able to go back and hang out a little bit before the game kicked off, or did y'all just go to the card march and head in? Okay.
Yeah,
well, that's
most
something
definitely.
You couldn't have done at the old spot. Shout out to absolutely nobody at the old Cardinal Hall of Fame Cafe El Nepal there. Jimmy Williams. Okay. Look, that's the stuff you're supposed to be doing. You are the producer, not Zach. Get it together. But okay, Wes, if you will. All right, Wes is parenting right now. This is what you get on Sundays. Every once in a while, you'll get a Wes parental moment where he just like,
make this a segment.
It should be a segment. We'll wait for Wes to stop talking to his child and get back to us. I know it's important. No, we'll skip Wes. Sam's going to go. We'll let Sam talk for not talk for a few seconds. Moss wasn't too bad. He did underthrow a couple receivers. Had he led the receiver, I agree with that. Had he led them, it would have led to more yards after catch and maybe a touchdown. I think as the year goes on, Moss will have faith and confidence that those throws will be open. You know what? Wes has went. He has faded to black on us for here for a second. Again, Wes is a good dad. He will absolutely, like, he's just recently started muting and blocking the camera off, but we used to have a good time listening to him, old school parent. So we'll give him let him slide a little bit on this. Shawn, we're gonna go to the hottest segment. I assume it'll be the hottest segment of the 2025 season. It's about Shawn's love life. Did Shawn have a love attraction this week?
Yeet. No yeet.
No yeet for Shawn. Gosh dang it. You guys know we love Shawn. We have fun with it. He has fun with it. He finds new ways every week to tell us no. Maybe start in different languages. Maybe that'll be fun for the crowd. We want to give a reset here. We're going to reset here. Give you all another shout out of our fine sponsors, as you can see all the way around the banner here. Fitness Market, Four Pegs, Collision Course Crew Tailgaters, Cherry Pick and Shoot 360, Mossy Oak, Planet Fitness Rally House, Beckman's Fine Blades, and Josh Jarbo from Remax Realty. Let's go back to the chat line because it is blowing up over here, and we love it when that happens. Your aunt said, "Hi, Zach." Kevin Watson said, "The guy who shall not be named is from Lexington," so he got the L's down, honestly. Yeah, don't care. Wes Brocky says, Miller Moss looked better than Archie Manning. Well, I'm here to tell you, Wes Brocky. I got up this morning and let my dog out to go to the bathroom. And, she did number one fairly quickly. And then she took a number two in the middle of the yard. And when she came back up on the deck, I looked out there and I looked at the number two. And although it didn't have Manning on the back, it looked more impressive than Archie Manning yesterday. Tony Bowman is asking, "Hey, Zach, does your dad work at UPS?"
No, my dad worked at Toyota.
Okay.
He passed away about a year and a half ago.
Do you have any family relatives that work at UPS?
I guarantee I do.
Okay.
Huge family.
Speaking of moms, Kelly, she says, "Hey, Card Nation. Hey there, Mama Kelly. Appreciate you hopping in. We appreciate you being at the... Hey, Wes, you're back. Okay, did you want to finish your thoughts before we get to the next segment?
Honestly, the offense looked really impressive. I saw somebody in the group chat that we have, of course, said the team looked really locked in. They did. It was guys flying around on both sides of the ball, getting things done. They were making plays with precision for the most part. Miller Moss, like, throwing the ball, looked very accurate. There was not really an off throw. Only throw I had an issue with him is when he basically made that skip pass where he tried to jump a little bit and tried to throw it, and it was overthrown. But other than that, like, he was very on point. The defense didn't really give up too much, but at the same time, we know we're not going to see too much from them because we have a bigger game next week.
7 points to our fourth. Let's quantify that. Our fourth and fifth string defense gave up 7 points. Our starters did not give up any points.
Okay, fair enough. That's a better way to put it. But I was very impressed with the team. They looked solar focused when it came to, like, being there in the moment, actually focusing on the game, doing what they had to do, assignments, everything else. Hey, have we got what did they find anything out about Rodney Johnson?
I haven't heard anything yet, but I do want to speak this to your point. I do find some irony in the fact that people think. So again, Sam says he'll be fine. Rodney, I played football, right? And I'm not saying that, well, I played football, you didn't play football. I know what I'm talking about, you don't. Which I am actually indirectly saying that, but I don't mean it that way. what I'm going to say is this defense looked exponentially better than last year just because they were fundamentally good this year. They were in the right places. Does that mean I think we played lights out defense? No, we didn't get a lot of penetration. Lubin was the only one that seemed like he could get around. I would rate this a B- defensive effort, which some people would consider much lower since it was against EKU. No turnovers forced. It was. But again, listen, I always joke with Wes about this. Wes and Higgy both are the ultimate over just hype guys, and there's nothing wrong with that. They think everything's the best thing that ever happened, or it's the worst thing that ever happened. The defense was very, very average yesterday against a not great team. I'm still a little worried, and we'll talk about that a little bit later in the segments. We got a segment devoted to that later, but we got room for improvement, and we got a couple of weeks to do that, especially with a JMU on deck Friday. And remember, Thursday night, 8 p.m. Tune in. We'll pregame JMU on Friday night or Thursday night. My bad. Go ahead.
Yo, one thing I wanted to say is I was concerned a little bit about some of the fronts, like where he was moving people off the line and like playing less linemen directly on them. And second off, Sean, what we were talking about penetration, we'll explain that later. But that's
the
first and
family show.
foremost. I know. Okay, back to PG.
Absolutely.
Back to PG.
I wanted to get into next is get everybody, and these are going to be quick hit questions because we do want to get everybody back to their Sunday. We appreciate you all taking your time out to talk with us and see us. So we're going to do a quick hitter segment. Shawn, we'll start with you. Offensive player you were most impressed with and why? Sam, get yours ready. We'll ask you last since you got to type it out like Stephen Hawkins.
I'm going to go out of the box on this. I'm going to go Boykins, the running back.
Did you just say out of the box?
Out of the box.
Okay.
Boykins, the running back, come in fourth string, but he looked. I know it was against the, but he looked so good that I'm like that kid. That kid might push for sharing carries.
So you thought Boykins looked really good?
Yeah.
That might explain a lot of the reasons why we're having problems with getting you a date. Wes, what about you?
I'll probably say Colin Lacey. He looks healthy. Like just seeing him out there for the first time in a while, like since injury and everything else, the pump return, him just looking super athletic, super fast. He looked really good.
I'm going to do the obvious. I'm copping out right here as I'm watching Clash
I
in
thought
Paris
about
and
it.
Post Malone and Jelly Row are front row behind the announcer's desk. Now I want to turn it off. Gosh dang. I'm going easy here. I'm going Isaac Brown. There was a couple times that you saw him that he had some issues, but he wrecked it. The thing I love is the fact that he's good enough that he can change, he can improve, he can make adjustments. What is Roman Reigns? He says that. My bad.
Real quick.
Do what?
I was just gonna say the acceleration.
Yeah, for sure. And we pointed that out yesterday on that long run. It didn't look like he even put the boosters on. It looked like he was just like, I'm staying third speed, and we'll wait here for a second. Sam said Keywan Brown is a third string running back. He doesn't play like one. The kick return, running behind his pads, finishing his run strong. I agree with that. You all let us know who your all's offensive player was on the chat you're most impressed with. Defensive player. Let's go in reverse order. And again, Sam, you can type it up. We'll get to you. Oh, wait a minute. No, Zach. Y'all let me forget Zach. Who's the offensive player that you were most? I didn't forget him. We got it to him.
The easy one's Isaac, but I thought that Colin Lacey he looked comfortable.
Yeah,
he looked healthy. He looked comfortable. He looked bouncy, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Just moving with the football in the return. I mean, he was gone, baby.
Absolutely. All right, then I'll go with rushing Miller Moss. That impressed me the most. I didn't know he could run. I'm sorry, Chris. I've thought of you for a long time as being my quarterback, as being one of the better elusive running quarterback. I'm just kidding. Chris Redmond couldn't run for nothing. Miller he did though. He got in there fast, and effective. Defensive player that you're most impressed with, Zach. We'll go with you first on this one.
Oh goodness, I thought the linebackers as a collective group looked good.
They did.
I was before the season looking at the linebacker group, and I think that this year TJ Capers has the opportunity to show what he looked like previous injury before he got here as a freshman. I mean, there's a reason he was so highly touted coming out of high school. I'm just going to keep looking at that group and focusing in on him and seeing what we can do this year.
Absolutely, Shawn. I know you're going to say Lubin, right? That's what I'm saying.
Actually, no.
No.
I'm going to go with the entire secondary.
You know what's funny about that? Hold on real quick. I swear on everything. As you say the entire secondary, Sam's message comes through, the entire secondary. They didn't get beat a lot. It was one wide receiver open, but that was a scheme issue, not a player issue. The group played fast and with great anticipation, kind of like Shawn does.
So there you go. He pretty much said.
Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah.
That's so funny. You all, I would, y'all are like, you know what? Y'all are like the Dudley boys of this podcast. Y'all think alike. Y'all don't date alike. But y'all are okay. That's the only thing that's in common. Wes, what about you, brother?
Bro, I know I'm stating the obvious because I had in mind what you said you were gonna say. Lubin, watching him from any angle, like where I was at in the stadium, going from the Adidas zone to where I was sitting there with my brother. Dude just gets after it. I was sitting there with Yoda, and as soon as I saw him break the edge, I'm like, got him. Because every time, once he cut that corner, once he got low and cut that corner, it was done.
I just want to not to we keep going back. I'm looking at Jelly Roll and Post Malone right now, and I wish I could climb over there and punch them both right in the face. They annoy me so much. Mom,
hold on, and bro, if you don't mind, let me interrupt you for a second. Auntie, where were you?
She was there yesterday.
I didn't see you yesterday. I didn't see you. I need an explanation right now. Where were you?
She has chimed in. She thinks Colin Lacey was offensively the best. Our guy Corey says Chris Hughes. Corey says anybody from the South End is related. Zach knows this. That's
in one way or another.
In one way or another. That's very, very true. I want to ask you all this as well. Sorry, I'm watching the chat line. I'm watching Clash in Paris. I'm watching y'all. I apologize. The question that we had last night, and this is something we've already addressed a little bit, should the starters have been left in a little while longer? Shawn, I'm going to ask your opinion on that first.
I think it should have gotten one more series, maybe not halfway through one more series. I would like to have seen one more series to see if Miller Moss
could shake off those picks.
Yeah, locked in a little bit more too. Like I believe it was Sam said or maybe it was Wes. One of them said that they missed open receivers or didn't throw them open. Throw them open. I like to see them hit one of those passes. There was a crosser and hit him in stride to see if we could get a touchdown out of it. Because if he would have hit him in stride, they would have been gone.
No, for sure. Zach, what about you?
I agree. I mean, not much more than that. If he would have led our receivers, like you just said, on a couple more of those throws, we could have scored 70. No doubt. Our receivers were so much more athletic than them. They were bigger, stronger, faster. If you hit a receiver in stride, especially against a lesser opponent like that, they can have a heyday.
Listen, I can tell you from personal experience. When I started playing football, I had no idea what leading the receiver meant. I was young. I was just playing football for fun. And the very first time that a quarterback led me, I was so hyped. I was like, I can get up underneath this, and I'm gonna catch it, and I'm gonna score. And that's exactly what happened. And I was like, hey, from now on, just lead me every time. I don't need the bullet pat, just every time. But of course, I'm in high school. I'm 6'5". Everybody else is like 5'6". So I didn't really need to be led very much. Still waiting on Sam's response. Wes, what about you? Do you feel like, and again, chat, you all chime in here on all these questions. We're asking for you all as well. Were you okay with them being, because again, I don't remember who said it. And it was Sam. Had this been JMU, they would have played longer. This was EKU. So.
Yeah, I'm fine. Honestly, when me and Yoda were sitting next to each other, one thing we discussed was like, I'm surprised he let Isaac Brown play another series or two after that. Because we thought after you had 6 carries for over 120 yards, 2 touchdowns in the first half, we thought we wouldn't see him again. But he let Miller
He
Moss
wanted
play.
7 carries for 180 yards and 3 touchdowns. Who knows?
Yeah. But it's like we thought we wouldn't see him again after that first half. But other than that, for the most part, yeah.
I
I'm
was
actually
opposite.
happy.
I
Huh?
was the opposite. I felt like we were at least going to see one more series out of everybody.
Yeah.
Sam says he would have loved to have seen one more series out of halftime as well, but against an opponent like EKU with that score, I'm fine with the coach
That's
decision
what
made. Health over reps. Yeah, I mean, again, you can give me that argument, and I'm gonna say, you know what? Yeah,
yeah.
mine was stupid. I agree with that. I agree.
Honestly, that's what I expected. I expected the starters to maybe play a rep or two in the third quarter and then be done. But yeah, I'm happy with it because you have to build cohesion, you have to build chemistry, so you have to let those guys actually get in there and play together for a while.
Absolutely. Last question in the segment: were you impressed with Ron English's play calling? Is it improved or not? I'll go first. I've let y'all go first. I'm gonna say I've never, and I was talking about this with with uh with Ryan earlier before the show, and I wasn't a big fan of Ron English's first stint here. Right, I hadn't been a fan of him so far. I don't know if I can say either way yet. It is just EKU. It is a small sample size. And that's a problem we're going to run into with a lot of these questions, but we're going to answer them anyway. And we're going to ask them anyway. Um, it's just, to me, the fact that you can say everybody was standing in the right spots this year and last year they weren't, that just goes to show you that maybe fundamentals was, he was told, hey, teach the fundamentals a little bit better. Or maybe he did teach them. That's another thing we don't ever take into consideration. Maybe it was just the personnel didn't listen last year. I don't know. We didn't have any problems with with MJ and Quincy and them. They were always where they were supposed to be. But as far as everybody else, so I'm gonna hold off a little bit on my opinion on his job so far this year. Sam is typing. It's EKU for crying out loud. He did dial up a couple blitzes, which I was. You can't tell it right now, but Sam's very aggravated. Put your aggravated face on, Sam. They focused a lot on communications during fall practice, and that's something that was missing the first 2 seasons. So, Shawn, did you see anything that made you feel like, are they going to leave any part of Roman Reigns for next week? I don't know.
I don't know. You know, Ron English. I don't know if he would want to leave Roman Reigns as a threat, but
No, he's getting tsunamied while he's strapped to a bodyboard right now.
Roman
They're-
Reigns.
Oh, that's why
Roman.
he's going to film that movie, right?
yeah. he's
Okay,
been
they had to write him
filming it,
off
but
TV.
I'm assuming they're gonna.
Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna do most of his filming.
You get a little bit of everything here on the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. Y'all know we're wrestling heads, so it is what it is. So I forgot what you said, or you didn't say it yet.
I didn't say that. No, I was joking with it. No, but I did like was that the communication was a problem last year. That was on the coaching most often than not. So having that in place was very good. That's a good step forward. However, I will say in the second half with the third and sometimes four stringers, I saw a lot of what I saw last year, which is a lot of rush 4, drop 8 in zone, and the guys in zone were just standing there, didn't look like they were in an active zone. They're just kind of standing there, not even looking at the quarterback sometimes. They're looking this way and that way, so watching the quarterback's eyes. That's a problem. That should, because what did EKU do on one of their interceptions? They were in zone, but it was an active zone. The guys were watching the quarterback and just waiting.
Was that the third one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
One. So that when you look at it that way, look at that zone versus our zone. I don't like our zone defense. I never have under Ron English since he's been here.
Now we're going to take a break for a second because Shawn said something before the show, and yes, we're going back to wrestling for a second. That something big was going to be happening tonight, and he hoped it wasn't a Brock Lesnar insertion into a title match. Jey Uso has just been demolished and will need to be replaced for the title match at the end of the night, Shawn.
Oh, God.
You have spoke this into existence, you tiny, tiny little twit.
I apologize to all the wrestling fans in the world.
Roman's still taking tsunamis, man, from a 400-pound dude. It's crazy. Well, he's probably just 350, but still. All right. Zach, what about you, Ron English? You sold yet, or are you just still wait and see?
I wasn't impressed. I was satisfied. The thing that I tell my, with any sport, I tell my baseball players that if you do the small things right, the big things happen automatically.
1,000%.
And I think that yesterday the communication was better. They did what they were supposed to do. But then again, it's EKU. It's not Clemson. It's not Miami. If they can continue to do that, do the small things right every single game, the big things will happen. And those big things are the Clemsons.
Listen, I don't know if y'all can tell this or not, but Zach, both times he's come in. Now, he didn't talk too much the last time because we had Dan, and Dan never shuts up. We love Dan, but just like, and I know I'm one to talk. I never shut up either. So let's be fair. Both times before the show, he's like, man, I'm super, super nervous. Absolute natural, right? Am I right here? Like, just killing it. So
Yeah,
I'll take that.
there you go. And we'll probably have him in more if we have like weeks where Joey's not going to be here, or Dalton's not going to be here. He can be our new our new guy. What do they, not reserve, but what do they call when you have somebody stand by? Yeah, there you go. Substitute. There you go. Stand by. Whatever. I had a DOS education. I apologize. Nevertheless, Wes, what about you?
Okay, what we're talking? I'm sorry, I got cut out because I got 2 phone calls in the middle of the podcast. So I apologize.
You got 2
about
phone
that.
calls, and Fisher Price turned off the wireless connection. So,
Ha.
I'm sorry, you froze. What did you say?
Ha.
Okay. No, but go ahead. Ron English. Things changed too early. For crying loud, it's EKU. Like, do we even base anything on what we saw yesterday?
I was gonna say there's honestly more I need to see because some of the coverages he played, like seeing 2 guys on the line, some got like Stan Quantum backing up. I think we need to see better against better competition, of course, before we're really able to judge him fully.
Well, listen, that's what we do though. We go as Louisville fans, we go balls to the wall. Very first game, we overanalyze everything.
Yeah,
it is what it is. Sam adds silent Sam at that adds emphasis on the small details. I completely agree, Zach. And that's why Zach's the head coach of one of Louisville's best baseball teams, and was the coach at my alma mater for a while. Questions of the day. So the first question of the day for the fans out there: what were your thoughts on the game? Second question was, which backup quarterback did you like the most? Third question was, did the defensive showing change your mind? And I should have had this pulled up, but Wes was, quite frankly, he was
indisposed at the moment.
No, it was you distracted me for a second.
Hey, but before the show ends, can I do something if you don't mind, bro?
I'm kind of scared to answer that question, so maybe.
Pause.
Maybe, as long as it's not.
No Diddy.
Okay, so it's not a Diddy situation, then it should be good. Let me go to these questions of the day on Twitter. Question of the day number 1: what are your thoughts on today's victory? Wes said team looks locked in. Beast Mode said clean up the penalties, which we didn't talk about very much. I did say there was a lot of penalties, but we didn't go into detail. Moss throws look clean. Great running backs and wide receiver. Loving the Lubin. Pause. Jay Baker said, unpopular opinion, Moss underthrows the ball a bit, and any good cornerback is going to snatch a few of those. Defense is better than I expected. A lot of speed off the edge, trying hard not to raise the expectations I had, but the starters look great against weak competition. Second question of the day: which backup quarterback did the best in your opinion? Jeff Nunn said Deuce, and he'll be the starter next year. Aaron Walker said Deuce. Wes said Deuce. JB said Deuce is exciting, reads the field well, and throws ropes. I hope this is his team next year. I would also agree Deuce. I think you all both said Deuce as well. Sam said Deuce. Wes, and that's not really for me a knock against Bailey. That's who it was. Not Bailey.
Brady Allen.
They all, Brady Allen, Harrison Bailey. They all look similar. You know what I'm saying. But what was his name again?
Alan Brady.
Alan. Okay.
Alan Brady.
Alan Brady. Brady from the block. Nothing against him. And his one INT that he did throw, I feel like was just him trying to make something happen. It didn't make it. So if that was in a situation where the game was on the line, I'd be a little bit more critical of him. But it was a no risk, no reward situation. It literally looked like he was trying to force it in there. And if you'd have had the first string wide receivers in there, that would have been caught. That would have been a good thing, but he didn't, and it wasn't. So it is what it is. Sam says Adams will add another dimension to Coach Brom's offense next season. Oh my God, there he is again.
Oh, by the way, Trez is not very happy with what they did with Roman Reigns.
Oh, I know. Trez is
he
angry.
tweeted it out. He's very upset with W. He actually added them. He's like, "What are you doing?
Listen,
Roman Reigns?"
Montrez is a huge WWE fan, and he has met both Uso brothers at the airport there in Atlanta. He's waiting to meet the tribal chief. So it is what it is. Question number 3, did today's defensive performance change your mind? Wes said for the most part, yes, they look good. Aaron Walker said, give them a larger sample size. I agree with that, but we still got to ask the questions. Philly Tees said the defense felt locked in even against an opponent in EKU. Honestly, didn't know what to expect, but I'm happy so far. Pop. I mean, Jeff Nunn said, not sure if it changed my mind. Last year we looked great, and others left us scratching our head. Ask this again after 4 games, which I fully intend on doing. Beast Mode said, against this team, it's hard to tell, but they did come out on fire. We'll know better after the JM game. Bubba, I feel the defense played well enough for a shutout. They did what they should have against EKU, so I'm definitely hopeful, but want to see them against a better opponent. Agree. Jay Baker said, lots of speed on the edge, but we have to clean up those penalties. I raised my expectations, but not trying to overreact since it was just EQ. And last but not least, the real John Bowman said Cards could very well be the class of the ACC this year. And I think we all agree with that. We all believe that. So, hold on, you're welcome. Sometimes you just have to say you're welcome. Sorry, that's from a movie, I guess. See. All right. So, okay, we got Sam's thoughts here. Let's get back to the chat line for a second. We haven't hit them up in a minute. Daniel Spencer said Roman is getting killed. It's what Jeremy asked for 5 or 6 years ago. It is. Oh, okay. So Reed is 380 pounds. Okay. Fair enough. Wes Brocky said, wish we could cut down on the penalties. Look, it takes a lot. If you all only knew what it took to put a show together, and for you to be doing it live and watching a pay-per-view and watching the stat sheet on the smaller TV, it's impressive. And it's not even like I don't even have any kids in the room trying to smack me in the head while I'm doing the show like Wes does. We're just like, or the kids that Sam probably has out there and doesn't know about. Like we don't have. I'm just kidding, Sam. I'm just kidding. Had to give you a little bit of crap. I do too, though. I wish we could cut down on the penalty, and that's something. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the majority of the penalties occurred in the second half, right?
No, there were a few in the first half.
Well, I know there were a few, but
there were about 5 or 6 in the first half. So we basically half and half, I believe. We was kind of half and half. 6 in first, 6 in second. We had 12 overall. So
now we're arguing over semantics, like off one, and you're like, no, we didn't do it more than often. We did it half and half. Get out of here. All right. Well, listen. One thing we can all agree on is that it was an awesome game yesterday, whether you're there in person or you were here at the house watching. It was a great game and a great time. Let's get to our rapid fire segment really quick, and then any other questions that you all have, we will be happy to discuss those here shortly. Shawn, if you will, let's reset this as well. We were talking. We had got some buzz before the show about a 2026 basketball target. Can you tell everybody out there that maybe not have been tuned in at the beginning of the show who we're talking about and how important he is for us to grab a commitment from?
Colbin Landrew, 6'6", small forward is what they list him as, but he's kind of one of those guard forward types, a wing player, really good shooter. He's fast rising in 2026. He's a 4-star right now. I think he'll probably end up when they do re-rankings again as a 5-star. I wouldn't bet my house on it because I'm not, but I would say he's going to end up, if not there, like right at that edge, because they have that edge where it's like 4-star, 5-star. They're basically a 5-star, but they don't like to give out too many of those. He'll be that kind of player, and he is perfect for what Pat Kelsey does. In that system, he's going to be the slasher / spot up shooter. I would think something along the lines of I would think Adrian Woolley is a kind of a good comparison.
Okay.
Because he slashes a lot, but he can shoot the ball. And at the size 266, man, being able to handle the ball, get to the rim, you got to have a guy like that. You just have to. You don't have that many guys. We haven't had that many guys like that.
No, it's been a while.
We had, even though his name now is kind of Terrence Williams, but he was a slasher first. He didn't become a shooter until his senior year. This
Did
guy,
you say slasher or pusher? Sorry,
I can't address that.
Sorry.
Can't address that.
Allegedly.
Almost knocked over my microphone now.
I will not. I will also not on record confirm or deny that he may have tried to get me involved in one of those transactions at one point after he left Louisville. So,
oh boy.
Well, that could be anybody. I don't mean specifically anybody.
Where is it?
Andrew Mudd said yesterday, I heard someone honking at like 7 a.m. I looked out the window angry, and then seen a Louisville box truck heading to the tailgate, and I instantly got excited. I think that's pretty much everybody's would be everybody's response to that. So glad football season's back in full effect. It truly is one of the greatest times of the year because it means basketball's coming up. It means football's in full swing, bowl season. It means baseball's on the way. And before you know it, we're having more time off next summer because we're waiting for football season to come around again. So it'll be fun. Rapid fire. The University of Louisville men's soccer team defeated IU Indianapolis 4-0 on Friday night at Dr. Mark and Cindy Lynn Stadium, improving to 3-0 to start the 2025 season. It marked the Cardinals' third straight shutout, their longest streak since 2023. The number 4 ranked Louisville volleyball team swept Auburn 25-21, 25-21, and 25-21, giving head coach Dan Meskey his first win at the helm of the program Friday night at L&N Federal Credit Union Arena. I wonder how they determine which games go to Yum and which ones stay at L&N. If you've never watched a Louisville volleyball game at L&N at the arena, I beg you to go watch one there. It's such a smaller atmosphere, smaller building, and the atmosphere is much more intense. You'll go once and you'll fall in love with it. I promise you that. Senior Riley Woolerton registered her first collegiate hat trick to help lead the U of L field hockey team to a 6-1 win over Michigan State in both teams' season opener Friday afternoon at Traeger Stadium. The U of L women's soccer team, who's been pretty impressive this year so far, 4-1, put on an offensive masterclass, winning 9-0 over USC upstate on Thursday afternoon at Lynn Stadium. The 9 goals are a facility record for the Cards. Louisville allowed just 3 shots as it recorded its third clean sheet of the season. Last but not least, U of L's Izzy Bianco, Lauren Masters, and Riley Woolerton were named to the 2025 National Field Hockey Coaches Association Collegiate Watch List, easy for me to say, as announced by that organization. Bianco, Masters, and Woolerton are also members of the U.S. Under-21 Women's National Team and recently helped the USA earn a silver medal at the Junior Pan Am Games in Asunción, Paraguay. We want to make sure that you guys support our photographers. If you haven't noticed this morning, Jeff Nunn put out 2 amazing photo galleries, one from the volleyball team's victory this week against Auburn, and then one football versus EKU. Like, these what you all need to understand, and I'm sure you do, but these guys take time out of their personal life. They don't get paid to do this. We don't get paid to do it. We do it for fun. I mean, the sponsors kick stuff in for the show to keep running, but like we don't do this we don't just do the show and then sit around and count bags of money. It's a process. I wish it was that easy, but Jeff, TJ, Justin Kruger, Keith Russell, best quartet in the country as far as shooting pictures, and we really do appreciate all their hard work and time for sponsorship opportunity. I know you're going to say, well, you got enough sponsors. Can never have enough sponsors. Can never have enough people that you believe in that believe in you. We don't just let anybody. We've had people try to throw money at us before, and we're like, well, we really don't like your product, so we're not going to do that. We only rock with people we believe in, and if you want to be one of those people, shoot an email to the address in the bottom left-hand corner. Stay tuned to our social media and subscribe to us on YouTube to be alerted, or Facebook to be alerted anytime we go live, even though we prefer you to do that on YouTube. Well, subscribe on YouTube. You can watch us either way. We need those YouTube subs for them to look better analytically. You can find the audio version on over 125 podcast avenues: Apple, iTunes, Buzzsprout, Spotify, TuneIn, Google, Amazon, iHeart, or any of your favorite podcast avenues. Hit subscribe, like, heart, plus sign, or whatever it is Shawn does on the weekend now to have these downloaded instantly to your phone or PC or device, whatever you have. If you haven't listened to all the prior episodes of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast, it's easy to find. Go to cardinalsportszone.com, go to the podcast tab, podcast drop-down menu, select the CSZ podcast for the stuff from our last 7 years, for the stuff from our first 2.5 years. Click the archives button for everything in between. Write a hate email or send at Nikki V ESPN a DM letting him know how unsatisfied you are that he accidentally deleted all the content on the server. Now, I don't know if he did or not, but I'm going to blame him anyway. And also, we're not going to go into any detail, but congratulations to Bob Valvano for retiring. We didn't say anything about this last week. This dude is retired and got on Twitter and just started to give zero craps about anything. If you saw the screenshot I put in the group chat earlier, Shawn, look it up. If you didn't see it, look it up. This dude, if you've ever seen zero F's given in real life, it is Bob Valvano now that he's retired. Shout out to him. Always a class act. Always did a great job. Check out our exclusives on cardinalsportszone.com, the place it all began. Shout out to everyone who's out there sharing the podcast. We appreciate you guys. And here's where we do our, our friendly little shout outs to our co-workers in the industry. Shout out to Marcus Maben and Steve Rummage, doing the Lord's work Monday through Friday from 10 to noon, supposedly, on ESPN 93.9 The Ville. Shout out to our guy Dalton Pence. He's got Mondays with DP from 6 to 7 on the Big X, and he is working on another podcast for the Cardinal Sports Zone Network. We don't have the details nailed out yet. We don't really know what the concept's going to be totally, but be looking for that. We'll announce it. Speaking of shows that are on the Cardinal Sports Zone Podcast Network, Spill in the Ville, featuring Blake McCauley, CSC contributor Blake McCauley, and former Cardinal forward Terrence Jennings. That is on our network. That is, go to @SpillInTheVille on Twitter. And I'm not really sure what their YouTube is. That's my bad. I forgot what it was. But go there to make sure you check them out and see what they're doing. Had Shane B. Hannon on the show this week. It was a great show. So check them out. Wes, where can everybody, we're going to start with you. Where can people find you on social media?
So real quick before I say that, can I do what I was gonna?
I don't know with you, because here's the thing. Listen. Sam just put his in the chats. I knew you weren't going to say that.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. We are all polished, like, podcasters and professionals, and you, admittedly, new to the game, you're a wild card, so sometimes you don't really know what you should and shouldn't say on the podcast. But just keep our
fair.
sponsors and keep all of our mamas in mind as you say what you're about to say.
Nah, I was just gonna say personal thank you, like Sam, you, everybody else, like in the recent events of losing my father a few months ago. Thank you for everybody who called me, texted me, sent a message, checked on me, did whatever they can. KC Beast, everybody. Thank you to all of you, and I appreciate the love. It doesn't go unnoticed. I appreciate
went in
that.
a completely different way than I thought it was going to go. No, I'm just.
No, and you especially. Thank you for being the call that was the voice I needed to be in my ear to get me back up off the ground when I fell for a second.
Look, we're all family. We're all friends. Anything I can do to help anybody out, I'm going to do. But yeah, sometimes you just need somebody to call and tell you, stop being a little. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't say that.
And I about to say, whoa, don't do too much.
No,
easy.
No, it's all good, man. I would do that for anybody. Sam has texted me. His social media is @baseboy124. Shawn?
@Elville Shawn, @SBarber06, and Farmers Only is Dirt Poor looking for more.
Dirt Poor looking for more.
Hold on, real quick. West Keys
There
underscore
you go. You forgot to say
CSZ.
that part.
I ain't mentioned it.
I thought yours was homeless Stevie Wonder, but I digress. Zach, what about you?
At Zach.
Oh, I can see.
No, I was talking about Sean's was at homeless Stevie. Why would you be home? You're in a home right now. Make that make sense.
I don't know.
All right, Zach. Sorry, I don't know if they heard you or not because Wes was tweaking on the show.
Yeah, it's at Zach _ Beckman 1. Beckman with 2 N's.
2 N's. And I am Jeremy _ CSZ with no N's. We appreciate you all. Again, it's a Sunday. We know, especially as the NFL season gets into high kick, that a lot of you all watch us, listen to us, but have the TV on. We appreciate you all taking the time out. And if you don't get to watch us live, we appreciate you all tuning in later in the week. We just started doing the streaming show about 2 years ago or so, and we did that as a way to make it sound and look more professional. And we love doing the streaming show. But for a lot of our clientele is still the podcast. Like we 100 and some odd thousand people every week download the episodes, and we appreciate that and love that. And probably less than 1,000 on average tune into the shows live. We don't take you all for granted just because you all are the lesser number of the two. We do this. I rebuilt if you build it, they will show up. And that's what we did. And that's why we have a state of the art studio here, which I would say probably, it's got to be the best studio in the city, right?
Well, yeah.
93.9's up there. I'm sure Rutherford Studios up there. But okay, top 3. We'll say top 3 because we don't want to offend anybody. Put a lot of money into it. It's comfortable. Man, do you remember when we first did the show up here? We didn't have a fan in the room, and it was hot as bleep in here. But we got the fan. Went like the very next week, called an electrician, was like, put a fan in here. And it's been comfortable in here. And it's, we do this for you all. Last but not least, we do not want to forget Dan Furman, Mark Spiegel, 502 Circle, and our guy Rick Kieber, man, he's opening up Planet Fitnesses all over the area. Glow Brands, which I know the 3 biggest brands is Planet Fitness, Suntan City, and Buff City Soap. They've got other ones too, maybe that I'm just not aware of. But shout out to him for always being a huge supporter of the show. Like, I don't know how many people have Planet Fitness, a national brand, be a sponsor of their show, but we are blessed to have that. And we thank him for his friendship. Final thoughts. I'll go first. Trilly's back. Trill on Twitter. He finally got his control of his Twitter back after almost a year hiatus. Don't know how he did it. Well, he said all he did was fill out the support form. But remember when we lost we had over 20,000 followers on Twitter. Somebody hacked our account, and we've not been able to get but maybe a fourth of those back for whatever reason. And we had 0. We just had a bunch of bots we were talking to support-wise. So shout out to Trilly. We will see you guys this week for our JMU pregame show Thursday night at 8 p.m. Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Since there's nothing else going on, you will have this week's episode of the Wednesday Night Wrestling Report, which we will talk about all the stuff that's been going on since we talked to you all last, which that'll include NXT Heatwave, Clash in Paris, all the stuff that's been going on at AEW, WWE, everything. We'll talk to you all Wednesday night at 8 and then Thursday night at 8 for the JMU pregame show. So excited that football is back. I'm going to let Sam go next with his final thoughts, especially since he just sent them to me. His thoughts are this. Sam, you got to make the faces as I'm saying the words. Go Cards. Parents, be nice to your kids' bus drivers. We just want to safely transport them to and from school. Trust him. We don't want to keep them longer than we have to. LOL. That's the truth. Wes, what about you? And even though you kind of gave your final thoughts early, your final thoughts on the weekend and the upcoming week.
Continue to progress, continue to move forward, prepare for JMU, peace, love, and positivity. Go Cards.
I could not have said that better myself. Mostly because I don't use the word prosperity, but I digress. Shawn, what about you?
I said positivity,
okay.
not prosperity.
I positively wasn't listening to that.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself, big bro. Love you though.
Whatevs. That's good. Shawn, your final thoughts?
It was indeed marking season yesterday, as I predicted. I mean, it's pretty easy to predict.
Didn't really feel like a mark though. Isn't that weird that 51-17 don't really feel like a blowout anymore these days?
Yeah, because you got all of these teams
'Cause
that
if-
score 66 or 69
fair enough.
because they don't care. And that's why I do appreciate that about Jeff Brom. He doesn't just say it; he means it. He said,
We could have scored on that last drive.
"Oh,
easily.
we could have scored on the last drive. He could have went for it and gotten it on fourth down." But other than that, just looking forward to a Friday night game. Everybody will be watching, and it is a big step up in competition from EKU, definitely. I just want to see some of the same positive things we saw, and hopefully we get rid of those penalties mainly is the one thing that I want to see negated somewhat.
All right, Zach. Last but not least.
Quickly, I want to give a shout out to my beautiful bride watching at home.
There you go.
I love you, dear.
See, this guy does it right. Like he's new, but he's like, look, I'm getting all the shout outs in, and I love it. Go ahead, Zach.
Don't get complacent. That would be my only thing with this football team. I mean, we're one game in. We've got a few months to go. Can't get complacent. Keep progressing on offense, defense. Keep communicating. Work on the small things. Like I said earlier, you do the small things right, the big things will come. Always a fan of the Thursday, Friday night football games at was Papa John's, L&N, Cardinal Stadium. Exciting.
We'll accept any answers for that because we all do it all the time. Zach, thanks again for coming in, man.
Thanks for having me.
Again, Beckman's Fine Blades. We appreciate the sponsorship. We appreciate the friendship. And me and Zach are a little bit more connected, I think, than we've learned over the last week. We're a lot more connected than we thought that we were, despite the DOS ties, despite friendship ties. Like he again, Corey said it best earlier. Everybody in the South End's related. Growing up, that confused me a lot when I was in my elementary school years. That everybody was cousins. That everybody was related, and none of us were blood related, but we were all cousins. So that was kind of very, very confusing. But I digress. Did I get everybody? Sam, you gave your final thoughts. I think I got everybody's final thoughts. Listen, we appreciate, again, Sunday, hard for a lot of people to hop in here. We appreciate you guys by the way, can we all give Sam a round of applause for not only hopping on here with a scratched throat passage. I don't know how that happened. But not, I think it's the best interaction we've had from Sam since we started the podcast, not just the streaming show, but there wasn't a whole lot of grumpy old, like, Sam, no mistake about it. Sam is the grumpy grandpa of the podcast. But
he is.
Great show from everybody today. So for Sam, for Shawn, for Zach, for Wes, I'm Jeremy Wallman. We hope you all enjoy this week. L's up. Thanks again for the support. We love you all. Until next time, this has been the Cardinal Sports Zone Podcast.